Welcome, friends, to Bramble On, episode 15924, A-Flultter, the next to the last episode of this season. Next week, of course, being the Holyloom episode. This week sets us up for what will be the season finale, and sets us up with plenty of action and suspense. As we know, Viola had made a mistake with the patient, thereby putting the patient's life in danger. But with the help of Nanny Nettlebottom, has been at the apothecary recuperating after her fall in the ravine, the patient is saved. This gives Viola a good deal to think about, and she prepares to go to the ball alone. The upcoming Grana Mars, in celebration of the mares. Yes, that ball. Calla Lily goes on an actual date with Carter, her courter, who, like her, was using the other party to benefit his own family, as Calla Lily was with him to benefit hers. But they've gone on an actual date. And, what's more, he asks if he can escort her to the ball. Oh, scandalous, I love it. In Slate's flat, with Dahlia and Lena, all is busyness and preparation of the ball. However, Slate does manage to spend a day with Brooke, and they have words. They've not spoken in quite some time. Brooke explains his feelings were hurt. Slate says, "What can I do? I'm stuck between Lena and Dahlia." Not literally, we know that he would very much like that, as it turns out. Slate feels his hands are tied. Oh, he'd probably like that too. You know what I'm getting at. Even so, Brooke remains crestfallen. His friend has hurt him deeply, and they are now paying for their riotous behavior when they went off gallivanting to Monte Cassino. That is what you get. You get a wife and a mother-in-law, apparently. Citron takes Dahlia and Lena shopping for the ball. And during their shopping spree, trying on dresses, Lena asks, "What do you know about Prince Raffia?" Citron's ears perk up. What does Lena have in mind? Is she looking for a suitor? Is she looking for an ally? Is she looking to cause trouble? Or is she just looking in general? Nanny, recuperating, as mentioned, at the apothecary, saves Viola from inadvertently killing a patient. Thus, Viola was able to save the patient. What would we do without Nanny Nettlebottom? One means never to find out. Magnolia does some soul searching. This would imply she has a soul. Apparently no one is buying what she is selling as pertains to her volunteering, do-gooding, reforming. And as such, she seriously considers going unseelie permanently. She's sick of being labeled the bad Seelie Fae, so why not just go to the other side? Her last episode, when Maya Hollow asked Stock to join the Ring's council, Stock goes to the mayor's offices and works for a bit to get a feel for what the job would entail, and he does not like it one bit. And so he renews his plans to leave the weald, potentially taking Brooke with him, one doesn't know. As we know, Milliam has gone with Dodd Hoskins, leading him far away to remove Dodd, get him away from the weald so that Dodd is no longer obsessed with proving the existence of the Fae. Goodness, will Milliam make it back all right? Does he have his pipe with him? These are the questions we ask. In undoubtedly the episode's most gripping scene, Raffia comes to the apothecary looking for Nanny to ask her a question. He wants to know the truth about his family and if they ever placed a curse. Nanny, being the oldest member of the Ring, the one who knows the most, Raffia is seeking answers. But why? I was left shocked. The very family he's trying to get rid of, he's now turning to for answers. I hope he remembers that when the time comes, whatever time that might be. For now, we turn to our sponsor. A very timely sponsor under the circumstances with Raffia and the Brambles. The sponsor is Duck's Back Insult Repellent. Are you sick of being the butt of jokes? Of being bullied? Having kick me signs affixed to your backside? Are you routinely at a loss for a comeback when dealing with verbal harassment? If so, then Duck's Back is for you. This mild soporific spray will ensure all within 10 meters of you are too happy to be insulting. And even if the odd insult does slip through, you will be too high to care. Duck's Back Insult Repellent. Why fight back when you can duck? Like last episode, this episode received a 4 mushroom 1 flower rating, indicating to me that viewers are willing to forgive the writers after the debacle with Dahlia's welcome party. As always, though, let's hear what you have to say. Caller number 1, what do you think of episode 15924, All A-Flultter?
You know, I knew Lena was up to something. I could feel it in my bones. Well, either that or my lumbago's acting up again. Ouch, ouch, ouch. But I haven't trusted Lena since she and Dahlia first insisted Slate bring them back to the ring with him. Why didn't they have a ring of their own? That's what I want to know. And what do we really know about them? Someone in the weald needs to do their due diligence and get the goods on these two drifters. My vote? I personally think Mayor Hollow should do it. You know, he's got nothing better to do anyway. Anyway, have a great day. Thanks. Bye.
As far as Lena goes, I've never been able to figure out what her game is. And I agree, we know nothing about her. She was not properly vetted. And the mother and daughter living at Monte Cassino, the daughter being the breadwinner, working as a cocktail waitress, Lena lounging about wherever they'd been living. That's a good question. Where had they been living? I think there is much more to Lena than we know, and I believe it is high time we found out. Let's go on to caller number 2.
I am so glad Viola had Nanny there to help her. Talk about serendipity. Nanny's at the apothecary, recuperating from her fall, just as Viola makes a mistake that could cost a patient's life. Phew! That was a close one. Nanny may not have the natural talents of a healer that Viola has, but Nanny's head is on a lot straighter. It's nice to see the family helping each other again. I hope we get a lot more of that in the next season. I can't believe we only have a couple of the episodes left this season. The centuries just keep flying by.
I know some may say it was an ex machina, that Nanny just happened to be at Viola's when Viola made the potentially lethal mistake, but I think not. Nanny, being slightly clairvoyant and altogether delightful, has always had a knack for being in the right place at the right time. She knows when she's needed. She answers the call. She listens. She's connected to the ley lines. I'm guessing she may have Etherean tendencies. I'm not surprised at all that Nanny was exactly where she needed to be to help her darling granddaughter Viola and prevent Viola from committing a potentially lethal mistake. And I, like you, am rueing the end of the season. It's gone by so quickly, and I just pray the writers do the right thing and allow us into the ball next week. Actually, 2 weeks. Next week is the Cottingley episode. Let's move on to caller number 3.
Well, well, well. So high and mighty Prince Raffia deigns to speak with Nanny. The lead of the family is trying to get kicked out of the ring and expunged from the annals. I hope she refuses to help him. Or better yet, I hope she lies and gives him a fake answer that gets his hopes up for nothing. I've never liked Raffia, and I never will. So what if his lost love was a naiad? That doesn't make up for what a jerk he always is. Maybe he and Lena will run off together. They deserve each other.
I could not have said it better, caller. I do, however, think that it is unlikely Nanny will give a false answer, or at least not a vindictive one. She is far more noble character than to stoop so low, despite the fact that Raffia deserves it many times over. And I would be very interested to hear what Nanny has to say about this. If Raffia did decide to run off with Lena, I say good riddance to them both. We've dispensed with Juniper, the false fae who caused mischief behind Citron's back. We haven't missed her, have we? As for next week, we have another Hollyloom episode in honor of the mares when the harvest is brought in. It is an episode titled Caught in Cottingley. And the week thereafter, we have the Granamas Ball episode number 15925, Not All Are Having a Ball. That may be the case, but we expect to see it. Do you hear me, writers? We expect to be at that ball with the Brambles and all in the ring. Until next Plulu, my friends, keep calm, bramble on, and break out the gloves and tiaras, for we are going to a ball.